Good morning. Good June 4th morning. It is our June boom, so we are very excited about that. I got that slogan from Rebecca Cox. She said it's going to be a June boom, and I just loved that. So Susan and I are very excited to lead you in our Zoom this morning. I hope that you've been following Glenda and the director group with her pictures. I know that she's having a blast in representing us as a GTC area. And also remember her parents and Joe's parents in your prayers. I do believe they come home tomorrow. So I know that everything's going well there. So, but we are excited. So Susan is actually going to share first with us this morning. And after she shares, I would ask that you give some takeaways to her because she has prepared in advance. And then I will close us this morning. So I just pray that you'll have an open heart and mind as we both share. And it's a brand new month. Anything is possible. So Susan, take it away, and thank you for sharing with us this morning.
Thanks, Courtney. Good morning, guys. How is everybody? I'm really excited. June Boom, I love that. June Boom, that's so cool. I just wanted to talk to you really quick about a few things. But first of all, I wanted to share something. Me and Courtney's been in contact with each other, and I don't know if anybody has got this book, The Leadership Lessons of Jesus, but it really is pretty amazing. And Courtney had pointed out something to me, and I thought, I love this. So we was just going to do a little, portion of it, but I said, Courtney, do you think we have time to read it all? Because I really do feel like it is just in line with Mary Kay. So if y'all don't care, I'm going to read it really quick, and then we're going to talk about unpack that and talk about seminar, okay? All right, it says, you win some and you lose some. I have to put on my shades that Kelly got me. What do you think, Charlie? Okay. According to the old baseball cliche, you win some and you lose some, and some get rained out. A wise leader understands the implication of this for his or her leadership. Every leader would like to win them all, but this is impossible. No one wins more than some, and it's also important to understand the rain out principle. Those people and circumstances for which they will be another day. They have neither won nor lost, but they will be there in the future. They need to be remembered and rescheduled for the most opportune time and should not be written off or forgotten. A time will come for them. A good leader understands this and plans accordingly. Jesus emphasized these concepts in the parable of the sower in Mark 4, 1-9. Because the sower couldn't know in advance where to find the best soil, he had to sow or broadcast the seed in all directions in order to guarantee that some would land on good soil. After all the marketing plans are made and the strategy is set, no one knows what will happen in the marketplace. All things being equal, though, the more you produce, the more you advertise, the more you sell. The sower was willing to take a 75% loss in order to reap a 25% profit, which actually yielded a 100-fold dividend. Doesn't that remind you of our leader? Except instead of a 75% loss, she was willing to take a 90% loss on us for a 10%. Leaders who can't handle rejection, defeat, or delay don't last. Leaders who have to win everything every time are short-lived with limited success. Leaders must believe that if they sow good seed, some will fall on good soil, some will produce good things. Even though they may not see good results immediately or even in their lifetime, Jesus teaches us that good seed will produce good fruit. We can't be discouraged by lack of response. We must trust God to bring about the harvest in his own time and in his own way. So I thought, wow, is that just not so in line with us? And I know that we're finishing up our seminar year, and and all of us are excited, and you may be not so excited. You may be close to your goal, or you may be extremely far away from your goal. I know that I'm so close, but yet so far away. And I was just thinking, the next 30 days is so crucial, no matter where you are in the game. Because whatever happens in this 30 days is going to, of course, affect what happens at seminar at the end of your year, but it's also going to affect your 2018, 2019 year. You know, we can sit back, and I know we've all heard this every year. We hear this. We can sit back and think, well, it's just not going to happen this June. And so I'm just going to wait till July 1st rolls around. I'm going to get restarted and rebooted. But it's just like that well pump. You know, you still got to keep pumping that well pump. So if we slow down, if we stop in June, it's just going to really stop any momentum. But if we keep running in June, you know, we're going to set up this new year. And, you know, no matter where you at, I'm sure that each one of you really had a goal that you were working for. And I'm just saying, don't give up on that goal. There's 3 things that we need to do. We need to have clarity on what that goal is, or get really clear on one thing that really means a lot to you. You know, your goal may be out of reach, but you can find a win in June that could really mean a lot to you and to your unit members. And then you just need to be clear on it, and then get a strategy, and then have that belief, because belief it inspires your how. You know, when your what and your why are in alignment, then usually the how is never the question. Once you have that decided heart on that goal, no matter what that goal may be, you know, that goal may be just to finish up City Girls and Pearls. You know, it may be DIQs. I mean, we've got some exciting news, and I'm going to share that with you in just a little bit. But what the main thing that we really need to do is that we need to redirect every doubting thought to a winning thought in the month of June. Because where we play don't just matter for us, it matters for our units, but it also matters for our national area. And that's huge. And we want to, I know in, I guess it was February, March, I kept saying to my unit, we want Glenda's voice elevated. We want Glenda's voice elevated. And I know she's representing us hugely on this trip in Italy, and she's with the top of the top. And we want her to be able to be heard, because to me, I feel like our leader's the best. And I want her to be represented in a way that she should be. It's been a little bit emotional, but, you know, we don't have a lot of time left, you know, before Glenda retires. And we need to make this the best years. We need to go full out and reach into our fullest potential in June. So get your clarity, get your strategy, and find your belief. And then once you've got your strategy, just break it down into either, you know, hours, days, weeks. Instead of taking that whole month, break it down to those bite-sized pieces where it does feel believable for you. And then share your vision. Put that vision out there. If I know anything over this last year, this year has been probably one of the hardest years of my life, but I started communicating more with my unit members. You know, there's been times that I just didn't feel like communicating. And we all get that way and think, oh, I just don't know if I can talk to one more person. But if you start working and you start communicating and you start talking to people, that feeling starts coming. You know, Glenda's always said, do the action and then the feeling will come. If you wait for the feeling to come, it just don't come until you put that action to it. So start calling your unit members, call them one by one, start putting that vision out there and say, listen, this is what we need to happen into June. And I know that we can do it. I think that we can all have a killer June. Doesn't matter what happened July through May. It's gone, it's over, it's done. Put it in the past and move forward from today forward. And let's go out and see what can really happen. And then I want to talk to you about seminar, because this is going to be so exciting. But before we do that, Glenda shared with me this morning some exciting news. All 8 has been extended for 6 more months. So yay! And I know that's going to spark some flames. I know that I know you had some unit members that we're excited. And I mean, I had some comments, I just don't look like it's going to happen at the end of May. You know, I guess I can just go back to my 10, which would have been okay. But now it's been extended for 6 months. So now you've got a really huge reason to get on the phone, start calling people one-on-one. You know, we meet with our unit members, but really when you want to move somebody up, you definitely want to start one-on-one, because that's where you're going to move those people. We all know it's the new and it's the few. So I would make my list right now. Who do I really believe wants this goal? Because that's crucial. They got to want it just like you want it. You can't want it for them. And they've got to put the activity for it. So again, clarity, strategy, belief, find that for that person. Help them to find that. So I'm excited about our All In with 8, because 6 more months. So by Christmas time, we're going to have, oh my gosh, how many directors could we really have? I'm glad they extended it, because sometimes, as Glenda's always said, it takes a while for it to catch on. And I think I'm excited about this, and I'm really hugely excited for Farrell, because I know Farrell's got a brand new DIQ. So yay, Sylvia Ashworth. And so, you know, I believe we all can have a DIQ if we got laser focused in June. Big things always happen in June. It's the magic month. We all know that. I know that I want to thank Courtney and I want to thank Kelly for their promotions. And I think we all have that guideline to go by. Well, you may want to tweak that to whatever works for you, but these promotions will be huge in June, and then just getting out one-on-one. Okay. And so then I just wanted to talk to you really quick about seminar. It's going to be a busy seminar. I know some of y'all are going to be coming in on the 23rd, which is probably really good, because we're going to hit the road wide open on the 24th. It's going to be a huge day, a busy day. Our prize party starts at 9:30 and it goes to 3, but you're going to have to be done by, you know, probably about 11 or 11:30, because we're so excited that we're having our McGuire Family Legacy Day, and the doors is going to open at 12:30, and that's going to go from 1 to 4, and I'm going to break that down for you. But I wanted to talk to you about that. Reds are invited, DIQs are invited, and of course directors. So on this one-on-one that you're going to be working with your unit members, who can you see that can move into red? If they can't see DIQ, they could see red. I mean, anybody could accidentally fall into red. So you want to make sure is to go back in and look at the unit members that you already have going. And now is a huge time to shout from the rooftops. There's still time to get them registered. We need, I'm not sure, Courtney, do you know how many more I know her goal was 15 more that we needed. So I don't know if we have more. I know Farrell had got 2 more to go, and I know I'm getting another one, but we all need to get as many there as possible, because we're having our jump start. We're having our year end there. And so we want our units celebrated at directorship. But if they can't see DIQ, they could see red. So the doors open at 12:30, and from 1 to 2 is our reds, our DIQs, and then our directors. And then at 2 o'clock, our reds will exit, and that will leave the DIQs and the directors. And then from 3 to 3:45, our DIQs will exit, and then it'll just be directors. And then from 3:45 to 4:30, the executive team of directors with 100 unit members or more gets to stay for that last segment. And we all know that unit size matters. And so this month, you know, we need to pass it on. We need to build those unit sizes. I was just looking at our newsletter a while ago, and I was looking how close Farrell is to 100, how close Courtney is to 100. There's a lot of you that are in spitting distance of 100, and you need to be in that room from 3:45 to 4:30. If your unit size is not where you want it to be, you know, if it's at 30 or 24, the next move is to definitely get your unit size at least to 50. Once 50 happens, you can start moving into Premier Club, and 75 happens, you can move into Cadillac and beyond. And when you get that unit size up to 100, even when it's hard, you can, you know, production's just not as hard. and you know, and you want new people. Of course, we all need new people. And Courtney has set such an example for us this last month. I mean, she's blown me away. She's inspired me, and I know she's inspired the rest of y'all. The power of one. The power of one woman. And I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Courtney, but it just amazes me how if you're, you know, getting around that table and you're putting your vision out, and I know how Courtney's put her vision out, and what her goal is that because of what she's working toward in her why is why all of these other women have come in. So we have got to get busy and get our people booked and get their book 10s in. And what's today? June 4th. June 4th. Mm-hmm. It's like all going together. So, you know, we need them to have their book 10s booked by the 5th. I don't know about you. I know that Courtney's going to share, and she's probably got booking ideas, but something that I did with my unit was the hostess idea again. The compact, where they can get their compact. If they, within the first 15 days, they could get this compact for $15. And, you know, it may cost you $37. Well, our cost is $37 for it, but, you know, you may want to put a little extra money or a little extra something in to get these bookings for June. So I think that's just a great idea. If they get a booking on the today, they could get their compact for $4, or if they did it on the 10th, they could get it for $10. Y'all know what I'm saying. And if y'all need more about that, I can give it to you. But I know you all have that booking example that you can get back into your unit and say, okay, we need to get these bookings, and we need to make sure that they are working full circle. So, and then the other thing is for seminar, our Celebrate Sisters Focus Bracelet and our City Girls and Pearls. Mm-hmm. So go back and look in who has earned their bracelet March, April, and May, and make sure that they get at least one qualified team member in June and do their bracelet in June, because then they can be at our City Girls and Pearls. And I know that, I don't know, me and Kelly was talking about this the other day, but I believe we're supposed to wear black dresses and tiaras or fascinators. Did you see that, Courtney? I seen that somewhere in a video or something. It said, don your black your black dress and your pearls and tiara or a black fascinator. So if y'all don't have those and you're already earned that City Girls and Pearls party, go to Amazon.com and put in fascinators. They've got tons of them and they're cheap. Okay, so make sure, go back in and look who in my unit's done March, April, and May, and make sure that they get a qualified team member so they can be at that party. That could be their win and get them excited. And also, if you haven't got those people that have done March, April, and May, make sure you get them registered for seminar, because get them excited about it. You can be at this City Girls and Pearls party with all of us, and it's just going to be so exciting. And then, of course, our Princess Court. Really get laser focused on who could possibly still be on that Princess Court. Y'all all know that is our McGuire area court with 20,000. So I know that I had some girls that was close, but still a little bit far away, and it got them excited. And so they did the and then some, and they've done their $1,000 months instead of their $600 months. So go in and look who could possibly be on that Princess Court, who could possibly earn their Celebrate Sisters Focus bracelet, who could possibly be City Girls and Pearls, and then remind them that Jumpstart is at seminar. So another thing that you can go back in is, okay, well, maybe you didn't make Glenda's court, but you made our unit court, and so you can have them celebrated at your unit court. Find where everybody can find their win in June. And then also, I just wanted to say really quick, don't forget about the All-Star Party and directors. Make sure you're tracking where you're going to be to get your Kate Spade pocketbooks, because I believe it's at 14,400 is where we get the first big pocketbook. Am I right, Courtney?
Yes, the big one.
So make sure that you pull out that All-Star worksheet again and look exactly where you're at, because you don't want to miss it by $100 or $200 and think I could have got the big pocketbook instead of this. And then track that for your unit members too, because that gets them excited. Last but not least, spouses. You know, who can you take? Can you get them to bring your spouse with you, or your spice, whichever one, your spouse or your spice or your supporting person. And then to remember that July 11th is the deadline for our GTC Ultimate Experience in our tour. I mean, that's so exciting, guys, too, especially for new people. But, you know, every time I go to the Mary Kay headquarters, I see something new, and I see it through different eyes. So make sure that you've got your GTC Ultimate Experience in by July the 11th. And that's also it's $110, and that also includes your breakfast. So, and then there's on the 25th is when we go. Let's see, let me just recap. The 24th, busy day, our prize party, our 1 to 4 legacy day, and then our awards night will be that night from 7 to 10. So bring your running shoes, bring some comfortable shoes. And do you know what we're supposed to wear yet to our Jumpstart that night?
We don't yet.
I don't either. I'm sure Glenda will share that with us. Then on the 25th is when we have headquarters night. And then on the 26th, we'll have our Moving On Up breakfast with Glenda in her suite and awards night. And then we'll close on the 28th with breakfast. So I think I've covered everything, Courtney. I didn't mean to talk so long.
Wow, thank you. We could leave now and have lots of information to run with. So thank you, Susan. You're a gift and a blessing to our GTC area. So we so appreciate you. Before I jump in and share, though, is there a couple of sisters here this morning that would give some feedback to Susan? She just gave you a lot of information, many ways for you and your unit members to find a place to win for June. So who would go first and say a takeaway or two for Susan, please?
I'll go first because I've got to go to teach a class pretty soon. When she said unit size matters, I think when we get our unit sizes up, and I'm talking about myself because that's an area I really need to work on. And Susan was talking about how, you know, with your unit size, it's kind of like everything else falls into place. Cadillac, everything else, Premier Club, Cadillac, and everything. And it's numbers matter because people count. And when we're, like she said, you don't have to worry about production as much. But I think if all of us concentrate on that one thing, is spreading the joy of Mary Kay to more people, everything else just seems to fall into place.
Thank you, Suzanne. One other person, will you give a takeaway, and then we'll give more takeaways at the end.
Hear me? This is Kelly.
I can, yes.
Well, you know, of course, I have to say something about my precious Susan. First of all, the lesson that she read from the leadership lessons of Jesus and that parable about scattering the seeds, my takeaway from that is, of course, we have to spread a lot of seeds among consultants to find those winners. But I'm going to bring that lesson tomorrow night to my unit meeting, to my consultants, because they, by the same token, have to scatter a lot more seeds among their customers, among their, among their potential team members. So I think we can equate that lesson. And Susan, I loved, and I hope I got this right, because I'm going to quote you tomorrow night, that we have to redirect a doubting thought to a winning thought. I thought that was absolutely huge. And I haven't put this out there yet because we had to wait for one order to come off hold, which it did. But I also have a DIQ, Tess Godwin.
Yay!
Thank you, Susan, for sharing all that. I love you, and it helped get my brain right for my unit meeting tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. I love you.
Yay, Kelly, and thank you for pointing us back to that lesson of leadership. That is huge. Thank you so much. I see Rebecca's unmuted, so Rebecca, go for it.
Yes, I liked, I do like play on words, as y'all know, and I appreciated the phrase, Susan, break it down into believable bite-sized pieces. Thank you so much for that. We think of a whole month, but we have so many steps that we can take every day, every minute into those bite-sized pieces. Thank you, Susan. My page is full of notes. I need more paper. Thank you. You did an awesome job, Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Anyone else want to give a takeaway? And we'll give some time at the end as well. I do want to celebrate too, Caitlin. Caitlin, you are in DIQ as well for Melinda, so congratulations. I believe we have 3 DIQs in the TCC area and 2 on-target car drivers. So that is very, very exciting. So, and I don't know everyone's May, so celebrate your May, but notice that May and June acts like one big month. So if you didn't reach the goal you're working on in May, keep running with your running shoes because it's not over. We have a finish line to get to. So thank you again so much, Susan, for speaking and preparing. And we have certainly watched you walk out being an example for us this seminar year. So we truly cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much. Well, we all have a game, as Susan has said. So I want to ask you this morning, where are you? Who told you that? What are you seeking? And how much more? And we know with our God, so much more can happen. So where are you? Who told you that? What are you seeking? And how much more? And we know that with our God, there is so much more. And what we do in June, Susan has already pointed this out to us, but what we do in June not only counts for June, but it sets up our July and August. And Glenda was boxing me this morning, and she said, I can't go into detail. Aren't we excited that All In with 8 has been extended, though? I know I am, so I hope you are as well. I think that gives hope to you and then unit members that were running for that. But she said, just know that we are set up, that our president, Nathan, has set us up to have our best year ever with promotions and things that are coming down the line for us. So please walk out in June in faith and trust in our company that when we walk it out and be obedient to the process, that I believe each of us can have our best year ever in 2018, 2019. I'm going to take you back to something really quickly because no matter what goal you're working on, I do want to give you a focus. And that was Glenda asked us at Roan Mountain. She said to cheer and yell as if you had just had your best month ever. Do you remember that exercise? And we did it like 2 or 3 times. And some of you may remember the exact number of your best month ever as a unit. And I know that in April and May, I really held on to that activity that Glenda asked us to do. And I didn't hit my best month in April, but we did hit our best month in May. And I held on to that cheering and yelling that she asked us to do. So even when you can't see it, it's like Susan said, we've got to have that belief. It's the belief plus the effort that equals success in Mary Kay. So I was going to ask us to practice this. We may do that at the end and scream and yell and all unmute together. But I think that's a good exercise to energize yourself when you wake up in the morning and put your feet on the ground. Just yell and cheer and see how that changes your energy every morning. But I know that kept me going. I want to share a story from Glenda that she shared this morning to me for me to share with all of you. And I believe that this is going to give you hope. No matter where you are, no matter what unit size you have, let this story inspire you. She said that she heard this story in China on the NSD trip, and now she's heard it again this year. And it's from NSD Angie Stoker. And Angie said that she went through just some pain in life. And she had dwindled her unit size to 13. So think about a national sales director, Angie. Her unit size had dwindled to 13. And within 18 months, she took that unit from a unit size of 13 to finishing at the $1.6 million circle. In 18 months, she took that unit size of 13 to finishing 18 months later, $1.6 million circle. Can't that give all of us hope this morning? Doesn't matter what your unit size is. When you get clarity, like Susan shared, and strategy and belief all put together, that gives everyone hope. And she said it was two things. She had the right action, which I'm going to share with you, and then she had the right mindset. So it's not just the action, it's the mindset that she had with it. And she focused on one area, and she held a perfect 10 every month for 18 months. That means she personally held 10 skincare socials and interviewed 10 women every single month for 18 months. And you know, when her unit size was 13, I'm sure it was just her starting on that train just by herself. And then as she grew, that was her process when she recruited people. Perfect 10 every single month. And then her, in that unit size of 13, grew to a $1.6 million circle in 18 months. So let that inspire you. Where could we all be in 18 months with a head down focus on that one activity, a perfect 10 socials, 10 growth appointments? And Susan already mentioned your book 10. This is the most important month for a book 10. You know, what is going to inspire you today when we get off the Zoom? Put some time on your calendar today and tomorrow to get those bookings up. It doesn't matter what else you touch. We've got to personally lead ourselves well. You know, when Jesus, I had a pastor say this yesterday, he said, you know, Jesus didn't just delegate and tell people what to do. Jesus took people with him and did it with him, with them. So notice that with us, you know, how can we do it and then take our people with us to that perfect 10? And Glenda said that one of the things for Angie was that she did a release exercise. You know, sometimes we hold on to pain. Maybe it was someone, like in our Mary Kay, maybe it was someone who hurt us. Maybe it was who hurt your feelings. Maybe it was even the pain of what didn't happen. But we can't go boldly into the future if we don't release that pain. We have to release the pain to walk out boldly into our future. And we're all going to experience pain at different seasons in our Mary Kay journey, but we all have to release that pain to keep going boldly. So I hope that story of Angie, I think I could have shared that story as well, and we could have gotten off of here this morning. 13, unit size of 13 in herself, in 18 months, executing a perfect 10 every single month, went to the $1.6 million circle. So may that lead us every day when we wake up in June. I want to just mention a couple of promotions here. Susan already did a beautiful job talking about seminar and finding a place for people to win. I want to remind you of the starter kit promotion that they're running in June. You know, we don't sell the starter kit because of a promotion. A starter kit's an opportunity for someone, but they are giving away the microdermabrasion set. And I read it as 2 sets, but it was 2 free products and 1 microdermabrasion set, okay? But doesn't that go along perfectly with our skincare social now with the new 3D? I mean, that is just awesome. So adding in that extra layer, and in the months where we had the replenishing serum and vitamin C squares free, I actually packaged it and I carried it to every appointment I went to. So maybe you just package it like in cello wrap or wrap it up, a microdermabrasion set, so they can actually visually see this is a $55 gift that they are getting free with the purchase of our starter kit. So I wanted to remind you of that. Star Consultants, that quarter is done on June 15th. Susan brilliantly shared about the All-Star program, but you might have people that aren't an All-Star, but that's a place that they can win on June 15th, is to finish that star. So will you take some time, if you haven't, and go back and look at who is a Star Consultant and maybe could move up for a bigger prize or better prize, and then who is not a Star Consultant but you might could energize in these next 11 days to finish their star. So that's a date I want to point out to you. And then the charcoal mask is 55% off this month. That was a big hit last May. So this is one of those things that might be good as a booking tool. You can energize some of your base consultants. How many charcoal masks can you sell to count towards our unit goal? Even those women who just do 225s every 3 months, they really do want to be a part of a team going somewhere. So you could even energize them. Can you sell an extra 10 charcoal masks this month? That's more than they've probably done the last 3 months. So how can we help just energize them as well? Whether it's you calling or you delegating that and someone calling for you as well. So I wanted to bring those few promotions back to our attention as well. So I'm going to lead into kind of the closing, and I want to encourage you to stay in the game and stay the course. So one thing that I found in the month of May is I was executing the process. So we were holding socials. I was doing growth appointments and doing the pure inventory discussion. But the important thing was, what was I thinking during the month of May? And I do think we have to remember that. Just like Angie said, she had the right action, but she also had the right mindset. And Susan, Kelly said it, but I love redirect a doubting thought to a winning thought. You will change. I mean, your mind is so powerful, and it will go in the direction that you're thinking. So if you woke up this morning already feeling defeated or not feeling in the game, I hope that you'll redirect those thoughts to winning thoughts. What can I be a part of in the month of June? What can my unit run for? It's not just for you, it's for our area, and it's for Mary Kay USA. So what can we be a part of? But it was, what was I thinking? So I'm going to give you 3 points, and then I'm going to go over again with you Jeannie's it speech. Do you remember she talked about her it speech? Well, I went back and listened to that in January from after leadership when Glenda had sent that out, and I've been trying to figure out for 5 months how to get it. And I believe that I got it last month, but I have to stay with it. So I want to share with you what her points were, because whatever you're going towards, I want you to have it as well. First of all, every morning, I really did try to surrender everything to God, because it's through the power of Him working through us. It wasn't just what Courtney did and what my consultants did that I was working with. It was truly the power of God working in me and working in those consultants to pray, to read, to trust in Him, that when we showed up and were obedient, that He would bring the harvest. So it wasn't what I did, it was God working through me of what I did. I remember one day I had a 12-hour day, and I was headed from 8:30 to 8:30 that evening, and I was headed to my last skincare social, and I thought, I am exhausted. But God gave me more energy to get through that social that evening. So how can you pray every morning? Lord, give me strength. Work through me, not for my glory, but for yours. And I believe that you'll see a shift, and you will trust in Him to work alongside you, to guide you. And when we have the Holy Spirit living in us, to show us, who do you need to talk with that day? Who do you need to work with in the next 24 hours? So that was the first thing. Secondly, I stayed in the immediate 24 hours. Every day, I tried not to let too much time, I tried not to wonder, if we think about the 3 crosses that Glenda always shows us, the past, present, and the future. It's very important every month, but especially in the month of June, as we're working to run across the finish line, that we stay in that present cross, that we don't let the thief of the future steal, and we don't let the thief of the past steal. Because one thing, I was really raw with Glenda. I said, I want to celebrate my May. I said, but I can't stay in that past. We're now in the present, so I've got to move forward. So will you do that with me? No matter what your May looks like, it's now June 4th. We're in that present cross. So what do you need to do today, in the next hour, in the next 3 hours? Who are you going to see tonight? Who are you going to facial? Are you going to be gathered with your unit? Who are you going to share Mary Kay with? So it was a constant with me and my unit. What are we doing today? So I want to encourage you with that. And then this is going to go into Jeannie's IT speech, but I focused on moving new recruits. The women that recruited in the month of May were all brand new consultants, no one from my base. So I vision casted with them. I got them on Voxer, and I focused on moving those new recruits quickly. One of the goals I've been working on since career conference is when a new recruit joins, how can I get her in at least her red jacket in the first 30 days? So how can I get her in her red jacket, if not more, in at least the first 30 days? Because when you have a new recruit, and I know we have Caitlin on here as well, but when you have a new recruit, the quicker you can get them a recruit, the more they will stay in the game. And they may not always work for themselves, but they'll work for that recruit to do more for themselves because now they have someone following them. So I want to share with you a few things from Jeannie's IT speech. And I hope that when we get off of here, you'll go back in the GTC director group. And it was in January when Glenda posted it, but you could just search IT speech or Jeannie and it should pop up on there. But Jeannie's speech said, when a unit has it, everyone can tell. It doesn't matter where you live, what your education is, what your house looks like, if you're young, if you're old, if you've been in the company 3 months or 6 months. It doesn't matter. Those things don't matter for it. You can't purchase it. It is hard to explain, but it can be taught. You love what you do and you want to give it to others. And she gave us 3 things how we get it. So this is what I want you to write down this morning. First of all is you get it with vision. You have to have a vision. And I had a moving up morning Saturday morning, and I said, girls, your vision does not have to be my vision. I said, but you must have a vision to be going somewhere for other people to follow you. We have to have a clear vision. People need to rally for some type of first-time cause. And we need to create a vision where others know they are important. If your vision isn't burning a hole, it's not big enough. And all this is coming from Jeannie. So this is nothing that Courtney's made up. Okay. If your vision isn't burning a hole, it's not big enough. Every person's effort fits into a crystal clear vision. And Susan brilliantly said that to us this morning. She said, every person in our unit, it doesn't matter how big, how small, that puzzle piece fits into the bigger, clear vision. Why does your unit exist? So think about these things. Why does your unit exist? Your particular unit. Why does the Dream Believers exist? Why does the Wild Hearts exist? Why does the Palmetto Pink, I think it's Palmetto Pink Power Women, Miss Joanne, why do they exist? Phyllis, why does your unit exist? Caitlin, your upcoming unit, why will it exist? Kelly, Anna, Tina, Farrell. What can your unit be the best in the company at? That was just something that Jeannie said. And this really hit home to me when I listened to this back in January. It said, if you left your unit tomorrow, what would your unit say about you? If you left your unit tomorrow, what would your unit say about you? And then she also encouraged us how we get it with vision is what breaks your heart. What is it that just breaks your heart that you want to support, that you want to advocate for? What breaks your heart? So number 1, you get it with vision. We have got to be going somewhere. When I said every person's effort fit into a crystal clear vision, one of the reasons I was able to move these women quickly last month was I recruited level 3 consultants. So I'm going to tell you again what level 1, 2, and 3 consultants are. And they're all important. But when you're looking at moving someone up the career path, you're looking for these level 3 consultants. A level 1 consultant is the buy-in is minimal. So maybe they purchase a starter kit and maybe they do a small store or no store at all. That buy-in is very minimal. Level 2 is they contribute comfortably. So this could be the woman in your unit who's the top seller. They contribute when it's convenient for them and when they're comfortable contributing. So 1 was the buy-in is minimal. 2 is they contribute comfortably. And then level 3 is they believe in the vision to give their lives to it. And I watched this walk out last month. I had a consultant join in the beginning of May. She's on target for her car, and she stopped her speech pathology full-time, went to part-time so she could give every afternoon to her Mary Kay. And it's been a long time since I've had a consultant stop immediately or drop down to devote their life in the afternoon to build their Mary Kay. So you have to have a vision so you can give vision to other women that you're recruiting. So how can we ask yourself, how can I find more level 3 consultants? So you get it with vision. Number 2, get laser focused on what you do well and do it with excellence. I actually wrote this in my notes in January, but I put, creating a full circle skincare class. I know how to do that well and with excellence. So what is it that you can get laser focused on to do well and do it with excellence? When we're thinking about the places that people can play, everyone is not going to want to go on target for their car and do that with excellence. But what can you find them to do with excellence? And then number 3 is enjoy it together. So last month, it didn't matter if I was meeting with my consultants who were moving up or my consultants that were attending my Thursday night meetings with they didn't care about moving up. They just wanted to be there to have some fun. We enjoyed it together. So they knew that they were a part of something. I had one consultant say, I'm sorry that I'm not on target for my car, but this is where I want to contribute. I said, never say sorry. This is where you were meant to contribute to our unit. So we enjoyed it together. So those were the 3 things in Jeannie's speech that really hit home to me in January. And I thought, I've got to figure out how to get it. And you know who had it? The ultimate woman who had it. Mary Kay had it. And we have it because we have her. It is real and it is genuine. And the power increases it in your unit when you find those level 3 consultants and when you set your personal heart on fire to go for something. She said, if your vision isn't burning a hole, it's not big enough. So how can you find it? How can we walk out together in the month of June to find it? Whatever that it looks like for you, those are some things that can point you in that direction. I do want to close with reading you something, but I think I want to stop and see if there's any takeaways or questions. You've gotten a lot of information on the Zoom this morning, and hopefully we've motivated you, inspired you, but you know what? None of this will matter if you don't put it into action when we get off of this Zoom. So that's what I want you to know. It's belief plus effort equals success in Mary Kay. So would anyone be willing to give me, or Susan again, either of us, a takeaway, and then I will close this out this morning because we still have plenty of time here. Does anyone? Okay, Susan, Rebecca said, please share the compact booking. You can share that on our director page. If you'll share that flyer of the compact booking.
Okay.
Does anyone have a takeaway or a thought after that?
Well, Courtney, thank you. I do. I mean, I've just took another whole page of notes, and I think it's so true. When a unit has it, everyone can tell. Mm-hmm. And so I love that, and I love Jeannie, and I loved everything that you brought back in front of us. And I was just thinking about the 3 thieves too: the past, the present, and the future. Sometimes we let that past thief steal our present, and then the fear of the future steal our present. So it's so true. And the same with me. I've been back and forth. Okay, I'll get back focused. And you really do have to center yourself and pull yourself back in, because I think we all have that fear and we all get, really scared. Something I wanted to share, you win some and you lose some. And they say, there's those people, those the rain out principle, those people and circumstances for which there'll be another day. They're neither won nor lost, but they'll be there in the future. And they need to be remembered, and they need to be rescheduled for the most opportune time, and should not be written off or forgotten. And isn't that so? They're so true in this. I mean, in 21 years that I've been in Mary Kay, there's been people that's come in my life for a season and for a reason, and then they come back around. So we got to remember those people too, that, you know, there may be some of those people that it just wasn't their time then to go back in and talk to them. And I love how you talked about being totally focused on the new people, Courtney, too, and to getting them into their red jackets. I really believe if we can start moving these people forward really quick. So I just started making notes on all my new people and how to get them excited and get them into that red jacket. And then also to just think about those people that maybe it wasn't the right time yet that I could go back into and talk to for June.
Thank you for sharing that, Susan. Anyone else or any last comments? We still have time, so I know you're respecting everyone, but I'd love to hear from you if you would like to speak.
Courtney, this is Farrell.
Hey, Farrell.
Hey, this is fabulous. I'm still driving, so I haven't been able to take those, but every bit of everything we need was touched upon today. Susan, thank you for getting everything together with the dates and the prizes and all of that. That takes, you know, all of these things takes time to do. And then when they're right out there in front of us now, you know, we can go ahead and go forward with them and go to our units and look at the base and see what can be done. But boy, you're right about new. And look what you did, Courtney, in May. It was just fabulous. And the whole meeting today was wonderful. And I just want you to know I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And you guys presented well, and I've got to listen again and take notes. So thank you so much. Just wonderful.
Thank you, Farrell.
Thank you, Farrell.
Anyone else? Okay, well, I'm going to read just a short excerpt here. Glenda shared this at one of the Roll Mountain events with consultants, and I'm not sure that she shared this on a Zoom, but I actually asked her to take a picture and send me a copy. But it says, the fire of your heart. And it says, want to know God's will for your life? Then answer this question. What ignites your heart? Forgotten orphans, untouched nations, the inner city, the outer limits. Heed the fire within. Do you have a passion to sing? Then sing. Are you stirred to manage? Then manage. Do you ache for the ill? Then treat them. Do you hurt for the lost? Then teach them. As a young man, I felt the call to preach. Unsure if I was correct in my reading of God's will for me, I sought the counsel of a minister I admired. His counsel still rings true today. Don't preach, he said, unless you have to. As I pondered his words, I found my answer. I have to. If I don't, the fire will consume me. What is the fire that consumes you? So think about that. What is the fire that's going to consume you, that's going to be a burning hole that ignites the vision for you and your unit where you're going in June? Godspeed to all of you. Thank you. I have an appointment right after this, but I will get this Zoom uploaded as soon as possible. And Godspeed as you work on your book 10, because that's what we need. It's belief plus effort equals success. So you've got to have the belief, but then you've got to have the effort to see it at the end. So thank you all so much. I love each of you, and I believe in each of you more than you know. Have an awesome Monday.
Thank you, Courtney.